Hey, it's your girl Meta Money, aka Trap, and I'm here with my right here man.
You know the kid Jersey, you know what I mean? AKA Stretch Armstrong, AKA Jersey, the 420 Chef. What's good with y'all?
Nothing much, nothing much. Welcome to the first official episode of Listen Stream Cop Drop. You feel me?
Yeah.
We did one prior to, but this is the real deal right here. We just want to let everybody know here at Listen Stream Cop Drop. We here to put you up on the latest music that's out. Some things you might be aware of, other things that you not. We giving you the most live coverage of events, including battle rap, concerts. You feel me? Everything underneath the sun. But on some real shit, we really here to let the people know, like, we don't let nothing slide over here at Listen Stream Cop Drop. So everything gotta come correct. Cause me in Jersey, we take the culture very seriously. It's not really a game when it comes down to certain things that's going on. So, we also want to be very engaging with you guys. We want y'all to respond. We want to talk to y'all, have open dialogue about conditions in hip hop in our community because that's the only way things like, Jersey really moves forward.
So please get at us, holler at us, you know what I mean? Like, dislike, you know what I mean? You can agree to disagree, whatever. But we like to get your feedback. So, you know what I mean? Scream at us.
Right. So since you there right now, make sure you hit subscribe. Use the hashtag LSCD. You feel me? Tag us up on Twitter. We'll drop all our ads later. But since we into the third, well, we just coming out of the third. We into the fourth quarter of hip hop for 2019 is about to come to a close.
Right.
Right? So there's a couple of things that been floating around out there. You feel me? Me and Jersey, we check everything out. Anything that pertains to the culture, we definitely there for it. So the first thing we just want to get out the way real quick is the Netflix special Rhythm and Flow. Now, this is supposed to be a competition, trying to figure out who's the hottest out, who will be the best and biggest, brightest star available from, across the country. And Jers, I know you got a chance to check it out.
Yeah, like, it's Hip Hop America Idol. You know, I don't get into the mainstream like so easy, but you know what I'm saying? I had to see what it was hitting for. Like, you know what I mean? Like you said, it's a part of the culture, you know. Anything, everything that's hip hop, you know what I mean? I have to address, you know what I'm saying, regardless. So I had to see what was up to see what they had going on, and I was kind of, you know what I mean? I was caught off guard. I was caught off guard because it seems like it's up to win. Like you got good indie talent in there with those that's trying to be commercial in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So the show is giving a crazy feel. Like, I can't find it's really giving a crazy feel for me.
Right. It is two different spectrums on there from the contestants they picked. The auditions was held in four different locations. It was LA, Chicago, New York, and Atlanta.
Right,
Now,
right.
right. So T.I., Chance, and Cardi B went around and they gathered a group of, what is supposed to be the hottest in the city, in the state, or what represents the culture in these places. Where this is a part of the show that I really didn't understand because I know a lot of artists that could easily have been on this show. So I want to encourage like all the artists out there when opportunities like this come across, or you gotta make sure that you know about these opportunities. You have to go for it. A lot of people be like they want to stray away from things like that. It might seem corny. It might seem cliche. It is nothing corny about $250,000. Like
Right.
let's be clear here. And like out of the locations, like especially Atlanta and LA, it's like, five artists that I deal with from each place on like, trying to mold them, trying to get their sound straight and everything like that, which I feel could have easily been any one of these people on this list. So I really
Yeah.
didn't appreciate Netflix not really fully putting it out there and finding the best talent because it's a lot of money put into this show. This shit should have really been more like, American Idol for hip hop.
Yeah, like, and that's kind of how I took it. Like, look, like You know what I'm saying? Like, I looked at it, I looked at the production value of it. Okay, you go to 4 cities when everybody know, like, we kind of know what sound is running hip hop right now. Like, I'm surprised they didn't go to Houston or, you know what I'm saying? Like, Houston, you got Miami. Like, they didn't touch those places, you know what I'm saying? So, I look at that, and I'm starting to feel like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost scripted like Love and Hip Hop. Like, they kind of just, they kind of ask who they want to push or who they want to put out there in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, it's an opportunity, but at the same time, it seems like it's low-key an agenda because Chance, like, for Chance to be a judge on this, all people Chance. Like, Chance, like, why Chance? And the only thing I can think is he represents that indie culture in a way, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, he came up SoundCloud style, you know what I mean? But then you got T.I. who's super mainstream, and you know they come up, and then you have Cardi B who is the reality show blitz, you know what I'm saying? So I look at that like, you got 3 different lanes, and it's, you know what I mean? Although it's supposed to be reality TV and not knowing, they kind of look like they have, you know what I mean? They kind of have who they want to, you know what I mean? Who they want to win it already. So it's like, you know, they didn't put everything in. And then not only that, but if we're talking records, if we're talking like a record contract for an artist, $250,000, that's an advance.
That's an advance, yes. It's definitely going to be some contractual stuff involved with this. And, like, they got to make their money back from the show, one.
Right.
And, you know, they got to make their money for you as an artist. That's why they're gunning for, you know, a mainstream superstar blow out the park. And maybe the contestant might have a twist to them or something like that. You know, I felt like this was really story orientated. And that's another thing, too. I want to encourage all artists out here who's really trying to get on. You don't have to sell that same story of, you know, I come from the streets or I went through the struggle and stuff like that. Like, you are allowed now in 2019 to show that other side of you where something like, you know, real tragic may happen to you or may be happening to you. You don't have to, like, stray away from that. It only really draws into your character and it makes people want to see you win. Like, you know, a lot of time artists, they put up a front. You know what I mean? Like, be it whatever level they on, they put up a real front. And that's one of the things I noticed in this. A lot of the people's situation and stories, even though, you know, it was street stuff. You know, one person, shorty mom was sick and passed, and, you know, other people, they got kids, obligations and stuff like that. So they really want you to buy into the artists on this. So, you know what I mean? When you go up for these auditions and stuff like that, don't overdo it where it's like, he's trying to motherfucking tear jerk me or whatever. But, you know what I mean? Stay true to yourself. And even if your music is totally different from what you've been through, that doesn't take away any of your art or anything like that. So, you know, keep that in mind as everybody's out here trying to get to the bag and get a deal and get on however, by any means possible, because that's the nature of the culture right now. Something like this is a lot of artists that really should be up there, could be up there. Like, so much so, I'm like, you know, as time progresses and shit like that, like, me and you will kick off some shit similar to that. Now, we can't offer $250,000 to niggas. But I swear to God, like, oof. Exposure out of the clear blue sky, and like all it takes is songs. Like at the end of the day, you got the right songs and it's promoted right, it's pushed right, you gonna do it. So, you know, getting all of that out the way, I want to know how you felt about the next 3 episodes that dropped.
All right, so they had these episodes where they had ciphers, battles, and videos. I felt like, you know, these were kind of like the videos one that was kind of whatever, but the cipher and the battle I really felt were important as far as it being a hip hop show, because if you know what I mean, if you spit, if you an MC, you've been in the cipher and you've been in the battle, like that. Like, it's just the main thing. If you know what I mean, serious about your art, serious about your craft coming up, like, you know what I mean, it's like the one thing about hip hop is I'm the best. Like, that's one statement everybody wants to say, but not a lot of people can say I'm the best. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it came to the ciphers, it was like, all right, that's cool. You know what I mean? They gave them beats. You know what I mean? They made a BEP style cipher. You know what I mean? Niggas got the right. It wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? Some people, you know what I mean? You could tell that they just really started dancing with rap, or they, you know what I mean, they not real true hip hop fans, you know what I mean, they just want to make music. And then there was others that you could tell, like, nah, this is a big thing, like, you know what I'm saying, like, they put their heart into that art, and, you know what I mean, it came across pretty good.
Right.
I can't fault the show for actually going this route, because, like I said, it's an element of hip hop, but it comes off a little bit of gimmicky. It comes off a little gimmicky. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean, I'm kind of mixed in between. You know, I want to say the thing about the battles. They had actually, after the cyphers, they broke everybody down to like 15 people or whatever, and then they was just like, all right, we're gonna pair y'all off and we're gonna have y'all battle. And the one dope thing about this is they called in Smack. You know what I mean? Shout out to your TV.TV. You know what I mean? Yeah, the boys. You know what I'm saying? Like they had the no shade Smack, which was extra fucking funny. You know what I'm saying?
They dig deep. You know, Smack got Hollywood and took off the shades. That was the first thing I said. So, oh shit.
Hell yeah. So, you know, I'm saying Uncle Smack there, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, they trying to get the deal. And, you know what I mean? At the same time, I knew they was trying to pull at his following, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we gonna talk, you know what I mean? That shows in another lane, but Smack was there. He hosted, he gave that, you know what I mean, URL energy, that Smack Battle energy. It was dope to witness, but certain people weren't ready. Like, you know what I mean? You could tell. That's when I did start exposing who's real hip hop, who isn't. You know what I'm saying? There was people that had their bars, their punchlines. They know how to write a disrespectful rhyme. You know what I mean? Other people was just up there, just talking, just saying whatever. But like I said, the ciphers were cool. You know what I mean? The ciphers were cool. They kind of showed who was who and what was what. But I don't think they're really looking for a real true MC. They want more commercial art. All that. Some of the decisions they started making. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah, but, when it came down to the ciphers, just like you said, it's a real important element in hip hop. And on the come up, this is something that, you know, it is mandatory that you spit in ciphers. This is something that the culture has strayed away from in like maybe like the last maybe like 6-7 years. Like, time is moving so rapidly for us. You feel me? 1/3 of hip hop history has excluded the cipher on a major scale, like, except for when BET have these things once a year, and they've been subpar for the last 6-7 years. You feel me? One out of 6 that they showcase may be hard. You feel me? They even now took ciphers and made, you know, comedy ciphers into it, where it's like they're making it a joke. Like, where that spot could have easily been for another team or to highlight somebody we don't know. You're giving the hosts and the co-hosts an opportunity to fucking crack jokes. Nah, they got 2 hours to crack jokes and run skits and do all of this stuff. You don't have to actually impose on on one of the most important facts of hip hop. It just, like, you know, discard it or make it a playtime thing. You know, when it comes, yep.
Nah, but that's what they're like. Shit, like things like this is coming with that. With hip hop being a gift and a curse. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we all know that hip hop is now, they say now, is like the #1 genre of music. Period.
Right.
So everybody is trying to capitalize off of some kind of commercial success with hip hop beyond selling records. You know what I mean? I think hip hop is the reason why they changed the way that they count streaming and all of that, because of the simple fact that you could package hip hop albums with other companies and other branding. Like they're really starting to exploit hip hop for what it is right now. Like, I mean, granted, they started learning and diddling and dabbling in the '90s and all of that, but as these generations change, and, you know what I mean, these other ethnicity groups start drawing into hip hop and buying into hip hop more. You know what I mean? They're starting to try to capitalize on that dollar sign. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to finesse everything beyond anything beyond the record sales. That's why that's why I'm glad there are independent artists. There are artists that are just willing to tell a record label no. Because record labels are artists, like, at one point in time, 360 deals was the only way you could get in the game. All right, cool. They want a piece of everything. Whatever. But now, artists that became their own entity, you have people like Cole, Master P, Birdman, to show you how to get money out these record labels without them having their hands in their pockets. And now they're almost switching the game back. Now they're just like, nah, we need a little piece of everything. So it's like
Okay.
I really want people to start paying attention to this, especially the people that are in power. You know what I mean? But let's start getting it back right, like making the money, making it right. Like that's why I salute the whole push for title and not the poor title. Because he's putting that money back in the artist's pockets to time. You know what I mean?
Right.
He can make all the money in the world off that shit. Like he can manipulate it like Apple or like Spotify do, but he wanted to give the artist something, like get them true credit for their creation. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
really
like
weird because like when it comes down to streaming and how much your artist really gets paid off for streams and the volume of streams you have to really be like lucrative on that note.
yeah,
Title really blows everybody out of the box. Like it's just hands down that's the best streaming revenue service for an artist. What it's like when it comes down to the commercialization of hip hop, right? From its inception, from the beginning of hip hop, it was commercialized. It was very well commercialized where everybody wanted a piece of it in because it was that fresh hot thing. And then when everybody really got into what the nitty gritty of hip hop really is, when the gangster rap and everything really started coming to the forefront, then it became this
right,
like taboo thing that we've slowly but surely have come over and like now we're the number one genre in music. A lot of that is thanks to like trap music on the low, which is this thing like that's just that party element, that party vibe and everything like that. And with our golden era artists, as they've moved along and stuff like that, they've also a lot of them have fucking helped the commercialization of hip hop come along. Because in the same respect, we give Hove his props for title. You feel me? He was the one who changed that streaming element to begin with when he dropped Magna Carta Holy Grail. Where it's never heard of before, where an artist could sell a bona fide million records, go platinum before the album even drops.
right,
It became this like inferior thing, this non-physical form where anything could happen and anything could be like misconstrued, doctored, twists and turns. But like now that we're back into this highlight like commercialization of hip hop, you have to be well aware, just like you said, of agendas that's being pushed. Or you have to, you might have even already missed the push of the agenda. You better realize what really worked out here, because it's crazy that a show like Rhythm and Flow, it's like a lot of lesbian girls on there. It's a lot of like
yeah,
not real artists, like in the
that.
crib artists and stuff like that. Where hip hop is a wide, broad thing, and I don't knock nobody whenever they're doing anything, as long as they're doing it right and they're not like overly avert with pushing something, or that's not their gimmick to get in the game. It's like, yeah, oh, I'm gay, so this is my gimmick, and they don't make good music behind it, or they don't carry themselves in a way that I feel is beneficial to hip hop. You feel me? We have other artists out there like Young M.A. and stuff like that who just dropped a project. The culture is like being more open and receptive to these things, because it really wasn't before, especially when it came down to female artists. If you wasn't overly sexualized and stuff like that, you might get your name out there respected, but nobody is paying attention to you as an artist unless you're showing a piece of yourself off. So in that respect, times are changing. Maybe, you can take like real regular straight female that don't have to be, so sexually out there. Like, Rhapsody is not coming into the light, Shay Noir, these people like that that's not selling sex to keep it to keep their career in order. They're selling you bars and stuff like that. So, it's a couple of agendas here that it's like, it's real tricky. I don't never want to step on nobody's toes. I don't never let nobody feel like I'm hating whatever, because I could care less unless the shit goes really out the window, overboard. Like, I can't deal with all of that at all. When it comes down to the battle part of it, I know, just like you just said, like, super excited to see Smack up there, the culture be represented and stuff like that. Always was an integral part of coming in the game. None of your legends, you have never heard them ever say that they did not battle people on the street corner, onto this, onto that, to get into the game. Since we was talking about Hov, we still speak about Hov. People like to discredit Hov, or like he's not one of these niggas and shit like that. Everybody in the New York area battled Hov. Hov made it his business to meet niggas after they shows, do all of this stuff, because that's how you get respect on, you know, like I'm the nicest in the city and shit like that. You can't name yourself the nicest in the city when you haven't competed with nobody. Like, it's this solid thing. So I was real happy to see they take that element and stick it into this show. But if you really listen to all these contestants, 90% of them had never battled nobody. 90% of them wasn't even really aware of how to function in a rap battle setting. That's why you got these crazy type of bars. Like, you know, some of these artists, they went out there, they might say, oh yeah, you going home next, and then they start talking about themselves for fucking 60 to 90 seconds and shit like that. That is not how battle rap works. You feel me? They kicked the shit off right with Shorty and Son. They was getting real disrespectful for each other. The Shorty London B or whatever came correct with the shit. The guy on there, Flawless and shit like that. He understood this, and I believe he have a battle rap background. But you know, a couple of them out there was just blatantly saying like, "I've never battled nobody." How are you on this show? Like how?
Yeah, that's what. But yeah, now that it was definitely a different show. Like the boy, the real deal Flawless kid, like he's been around. Like he's been shopping this stuff around. Like he's been on BET ciphers, so on and so forth. Like he's not unfamiliar to the game. London B, she did all right. Who was it? I think the boy from Atlanta, Troy something. Like he was one of the first dudes that eyebrow piercing. He aired shit. The white boy from Denver, Colorado, that kind of stumbled. He did, like, you know, you could tell the ones that are really hip hop, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, nowadays battles aren't like, they aren't prevalent like the way it was when cats went hopping around, or even when Meek went hopping around town, you know what I mean? Hopping around Philly and shit like that. Like nowadays, you know, the down crowd is just all about the sins and all of that. So now everybody's trying to be trendy, or, you know what I mean, trying to be likable instead of just, you know what I mean, harnessing their skill and, you know what I mean, holding their craft and making sure that shit on point. And it's like they're just pretty much watering down something that, you know what I mean, they're watering down the whole genre that was built on solid principles.
Right. That's something we can't stand for here at Listen Stream Cop Drop. Like, you're not going to do that to the culture, because if this time period we in right now, right? If the new artists that come out aren't solid or they have no foundation, it's just like if you have kids. What's gonna happen to the next generation? We're number one, but if we keep going where we're going, we might not even have it no more. Like on a level that nobody care about, then it's gonna become this real underground thing, and somebody else's music will come to the forefront instead of ours that been pushing all the music culture for all this time, because like you don't know the rules. There's nobody out here really teaching, you know, the niggas that's like between 18 and 24 and 25, like the real rules of this. Everybody's all inclusive into they self. They hermits, like, you know what I mean? They don't go outside. They don't rap with niggas. You feel me? They probably don't even go around niggas, like, you know, that rap or anything like that. Like, it was really weird to see people not understand the full-on fucking idea of battle rap. Like, too many people just went up there and started speaking on themselves. It wasn't giving the energy. Like, you know, you supposed to go up there, tell somebody about themselves, tell about yourself, because this is a competition. But you're out there for the kill. You're supposed to be out there to fucking murder people. And if you had any idea of the culture, a lot of these bars they were reciting, it wouldn't have happened like that. I also was kind of upset that all of these battles had beats with them. Now the shit hit so different where, like, you know, you're not battling on beat. When you battling out there, you just gotta say whatever because you don't have the beat to move the crowd or get them to bop. You really have to do that. And I know in battle rap culture and stuff like that, there are battles that is like that and stuff all the time. But that's not no like PGs ain't on beat. Like
Oh,
you,
no,
you know what I mean?
I
Like
get, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but then that's the separation between like underground to mainstream. You feel me? Like commercial to the underground. Like underground raw. We know the code to the point where we can hear bars and just we can hear them off beat and it have that effect. If not, it'll stand out stronger to us. But it's just like it's like word is bond. That rhythm and soul battle is just like when we were standing in front of Ishtabib was going to the TLA and those two white people walked up to us and was just like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? It's literally like breaking a battle on the beat. The rhythm and flow is introducing battle rap to those that don't understand. Okay, we're going to really rap. We're going to rap. And we're going to rap with good beats, but we're about to rap about each other in each other's space. Nobody's going to get violent. We're going to shake hands, be cool after. It shows you that, yes, hip-hop has this competition, but it's still going to be cool in the end. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Like, I get it, but, you know, like I said, you take by bringing in smack, that's kind of almost like that's trying to water down what the underground does. Like, and that's not cool. Like, you know what I mean? I really wish they'd have had some, like, he could have bought a couple legends on there or something like that.
To show them, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, gave him a little, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't bullshit with it, you feel me? But, you know, they did it how they did it, you know, it's production, whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, like,
it's weird they try to do it. I'm sorry to cut you off. They try to do it when in the Cypher episode, bringing in King Los, where it was like, you know, okay, he's representing the battle rap. You should know that this is coming up next because he's there. You know, he's not really like a Cypher man or nothing like that. I know he could get down and stuff like that. But that was like the prelude. That was like the ding off, like the contestants. If you're in knowledge of the culture, once you seen King Los, you should be like, damn, like this shit about to get hectic. You know what I mean? Because this is one of the best freestylers in the world. This is one, you know what I mean? You should have known that it's something like this coming across there. So, you know, it was really just eye-opener. I really hope that the artists that me and you fuck with, you know, the up-and-comers, the, you know, most known unknowns and shit like that can really sit there and hold their own in ciphers and in battle rap. Like, it's
that's, I'm sorry. I'm blowing, but real shit. People that I fuck with that are underground, absolutely. I have footage of them holding their own in cycles. Hell, I even had, like, shout out to Henry Lowe out of Eastern Academy. He battle raps. Like, he's a battle rapper. You feel me? Like, he learned how, like, he raps on music, but then transitioned over to battle rap, and he catches his Victor shit. He's out the DMV area and shit. So, like the ones that I rock with are real ones. Like, in fact, shout out to Music Academy. They in Cali right now. Those dudes have built their own brand to the point where they have a whole nother coach fuck with them, and they're getting dates. Like, they're getting dates in certain spots and doing whole fucking shows. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like I'm very strict on that. Like, if I fuck with you as an artist, I've seen you go to a radio station. I've seen you kick shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen your whole process. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're authentic from top to bottom with the principles and the core essentials of hip hop.
Yeah, right. When I look for artists or artists coming to me, that's one of the first things I look forward to because, you know, creativity got to be there, your style got to be there, your voice, you know, your perspective got to be there, but also you have to have a skill level that sets you apart from everybody else. It's really about your skill level, and it's like one of the meters so people know your skill level is to be able to come up with shit off the top of your head. Is to be able to hold yourself down in these type of situations where, you know, it's really authentic, it's not pressed, it's not forced. You're not out there making a mockery of hip hop or whatever have you. So when it comes down to artists that, you know, reach out to me and ask me my opinion on their work or ask me to review their projects before final releases so they could tweak it and things of that nature, it'd be like, you know, if I feel like it's too orchestrated, it's too contrived, like I can't okay it. I'd be like, you know, this person they never been outside a day in their life. You feel me? They never been in these type of situations or these type of atmospheres where it's like, yo, you make it you get signed, you get a deal, you go on tour. This what happens in everywhere. Once you get on tour, you're there with several people. They gonna start pressing you, and I'm not talking about a physical violence or nothing like that. They're gonna start pressing your skill because why should
Yeah.
you be there alongside somebody that have this skill and like your career will be over real fast if too many niggas come up and be like, yeah, I try to battle son underneath the thing. He don't want to battle me, or I battle son underneath the thing and the nigga is trash. Like a whole bunch of that shit come out too where you don't think it really matters, and that'll kill everything you got going on because the managers, the A&Rs and stuff like that who's behind the scene, like they go off of word of mouth. Okay? They might hit some shit on social media. You might, and that's even word of mouth. Everything is spread by that same idea. Like, but if they're looking to do something with somebody and they just keep hearing you're trash, you're trash, you're trash because you can't hold yourself down in these scenarios, then you're trash. It doesn't matter how nice you are. It doesn't matter what you bring to the table because everybody that fuck with you or been around you is deeming you as trash. So, you know, it gets real tricky. I'm curious to see. I didn't really check out what's the next 3 episodes are or whenever. I know they drop next week. The music video portion of this was really dope because you know people got a chance to go back home. They had been out there several amount of weeks. People got a chance to go back home. You got a chance to like, you know, let the shit settle into you a little bit, and you're going out there for work purposes. And they let them get a lot of creative control, like, you know, whole creative control. And the only criteria was like, you know, make a track about yourself. Well, a lot of people stepped up to the plate. It was one song that was so powerful. Jersey, what's the name of the track?
Which joint? You talking about the joint by D Smoke?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the name of that track. Yo, shout out to them because they actually put all that music on the album, so you can actually stream that too. You can stream that whole album. Hold on, I'm sorry. I was not prepared for that, but yeah, they actually just released that this week. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, that was one of the new releases of the week. Was the all the music videos that were displayed on the show actually came out in the album and stuff like that. But you know, son that be rapping in Spanish and stuff like that.
His show is called Let Me Go. Like it's like LEP, but then Migo, like Migo, like MIGO, like on some Spanish shit.
Right.
Yeah, but that was, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think he's going to be the one. Like, I really think he's going to be one of the final ones. To me, he represents that Kendrick Lamar feel from the West Coast, and, you know what I mean, bilingual. You know what I mean? I don't want to call it a gimmick, but it's just, you know what I mean, it's a skill that he had that nobody else had.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? You can do a lot with that. You can really do a lot with that.
That's a fact. The more,
you know what I'm saying? So
the more people you reach, the better off you are. And be it that he can do this, and everybody, you know, Cardi is Spanish herself. She like, holy shit, this shit makes sense. Even Chance was up there like, oh, all of this stuff rhymes, and it rhymes in Spanish. It just hooks you up. It's one of those, you know, special talent, special things. Like, I feel like he's in contention to win. The guy Flawless, and on the female note, the chick B, London B. London B did the fucking Megatron challenge too, and was like a finalist in Nicki Minaj's little Megatron shit. That's what I be saying. It's like shit like this that y'all be like, it's corny and it's whack. No, you feel me? Like because it'll come a day where you're in a room and somebody be like, oh, you look familiar. Oh, you look familiar from doing this, and that's all the shit really takes to show that you're driven. It's no way like. Man, I don't even care if you don't make it through. Like, it's certain artists, like, I have to give them a call and be like, yo, this shit was going on down here. What time period was this? Like, was you locked up that you didn't go and motherfucking do these things? Because I really don't catch how they got all the contestants on there. And I would feel very offended coming from one of these cities and, like, I wasn't even, like, on the audition part. Like, you know...
All right.
It's really weird because like they have the lanes there, just like you said. Like we just said, it's somebody who made it a very deep political track. You know, it's people out there that got that bounce. You feel me? As people out there that just shooting shot from their perspective and stuff like that. So you know, whenever these opportunities come along, you gotta take that. I don't care what it is. Like just try it. Nothing beats a failure but a try. Like you just gotta try and do that shit. But you know, we ain't really TV niggas. You feel me? So.
Yeah, but like you bring up like everything that you speak on brings up a great conversation that I know we're going to do for another episode, which is skill versus views. Like who has gotten on because of their skill, because of their talent? You know what I mean? That their effort, that the you know what I mean, the blood, sweat, and tears that they've put into their craft, compared to those that are on because of the attention that they attract. Like, let's be real. Like, one of the panelists up there, before we even get to that part of the panelists of Who's on Rhythm and Flow, I'm thinking about this because there was a show that I watched that had Lenny S, The Dream, and Rick Ross called Time or whatever, where they did the same fucking shit, you know what I mean, and went through a lot of shit with motherfuckers and, you know what I mean, artists that they check up with, like the artists that they chose. Nobody's dropped an album, like nobody's dropped a major album to the point where it's made a lot of noise or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Never heard from again.
Looking at, yeah. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like I mean, granted, some of them I've kept up with on my own because I like their music, and you know what I mean, I was digging what they was doing, and you know, just wanted to see where it was going to go. But you know what I'm saying? I'm saying like, is this going to be the same feel? But at the same time, I don't think so because of the simple fact that you know what I mean. Like the fact that Cardi B is a judge, you know what I mean? No knock to her hustle, no knock to the fact that she's got it all, you know what I mean? But she didn't come in the game off of skills. She hustled and got the views and got the attention.
Right.
She made America like her. And then not only that, but you know what I mean? What is it? Kodak Black or Bodak, you know what I mean? Bodak Yellow or whatever the song was.
Yes, Bodak
like
Yellow.
That shit went crazy. Like that shit went digital, and you know what I mean. So I can't be mad at that. But she, you know what I mean. She is more attention to you than she is skill. You know what I mean.
Right.
And you know what I mean. The game has always been filled with that, but it's more that than skill than any other time. I can say that I witnessed being a fan of hip hop and being in hip hop.
You really did open up a good conversation because like it plays back to like back in the day, like you just said, like, you know, mainstream versus underground, like skill versus visibility. You know, the nicest niggas out are necessarily the most visible. They're just the most visible. Right. You feel me? Like the babies, and you know, the baby's skill level is not there as like, let's say, a little baby. You feel me? But I totally get what you're drawing at when it comes down to these two things. It's like a whole different process involved now. Where a lot of people do rely on views to get their name out there and like take second to skills. And you get in these like you're getting these formatted artists that's out there. This is the whole thing that happened with 6ix9ine. You feel me? We have somebody that people like watching him and don't necessarily like the music, but as long as you're watching him, he's gonna grow on you to the fact that, you know, you may like the music eventually. You might get the people in your corner where it should be really the other way around. You know, if we did everything based on skill level, the whole top niggas in the game right now would be a whole different set of people. If really the top people in the game right now is those who's out there who's most visible. Megan Thee Stallion, like I can't recite one Megan Thee Stallion song or whatever have you, but I know every outfit she wore on tour. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. I mean, but at the same time, I just like with Meg. Like I've been watching Meg for a long time. Like, a lot of people don't know, but I remember the freestyle that she had. Like, I forgot it was like a Drake beat or some shit. But that freestyle she had in front of all them niggas, they was like on the top of the parking garage.
I seen
like
that, yeah.
Yeah, but like I remember that. I was like, okay, she got a flow. She, you know what I mean? Her MC flow, like I caught that attention. I can't remember any of her bars, but I kind of got what her aim was and what her music was be about. But like you said, views over skills, like, you know what I mean? But it doesn't take from the way that she is. Like, she writes what she writes, and it's just her topics, the topics, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but, like, I'm just from an era of where, like, how niggas got on, like it was such a long process and such a curated process.
Right.
Like niggas had to be like, and I mean, this is, you know what? No matter where you lived at, like niggas had to be good at like their school. Like you had to be good locally first. Like you had to be good at your school or whatever, and then you had to be good the best one at your park in the cipher. And then after that, you had to be the best one in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? Battling or going against all the other niggas that really rap. You know what I mean? That get that recognition. And then after that, you got to be the best in your city. That whenever niggas are touching down, like your whole city is like, oh, this nigga got, you know what I mean? This, that nigga, you know what I mean? He got the song, he got the bars, whatever. You blow up to the state to the point to where record level, like record execs are, you know what I mean, fucking with you and trying to hear you. Or niggas was just taking their demos and beating down every fucking record label. It isn't, you know what I mean? It isn't what it is today. Like, the game is so, like, it's changed so drastically.
This is crazy because, like, I just was thinking about, you know, the process to get on back in the day. And it was this real thing, like what you just described, like what an artist had to go through, being the best on your block, then you're the best in the town, then you're the best in the state. It really is like a basketball, like, you feel me? You go from J-Ville, and then you got to be all American, and you got to be all state. And once you get to be all state or whatever have you, you're still not the nicest in the country. You got to be that. It's just like this long process. But like on some real shit, people don't even know how to organize and make demo packages, you feel me, press kits, all the things that it would really take to try to get into the game. Like, you know, the leg work and the footwork is gone. Like, you tell somebody now, you just like drop an email or you at them and you cross your fucking fingers that they see it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, unless somebody, and it don't really work, it's really word of mouth now. It's really word of mouth because even the scouting process with A&Rs is completely different now. A&Rs do not scout people. You know what I mean? A&R, you have to like damn near be opening for a major artist at somebody in somebody's city, knock that shit out the fucking park to maybe get noticed that somebody will start talking to you about deals.
Right, like, and I hate to bring it up, like, and this is probably the end of this topic, you know, so we can move on to shit, but I look at that because of the fact of, you know what I mean, just people that I watch, independents that I watch. Mm-hmm. There's a certain independent group that I watch that I know for a fact, like, Duck Down look at them, and Def Jam had to look at them and made them an offer, had to walk away from them, you feel me? Mm-hmm. But two majors looked at them, you feel me? And I mean, like I said, to the point that they walked like they did, you know what I mean? They got, like, I think in fact they said Duck Down slept on them, you know what I mean? So Duck Down might have, you know what I mean, just invited them up and talked to them, but didn't really put nothing on the table. But I know for sure, it's like they, in the Def Jam office, Def Jam put them on the table, but it just wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't the right thing for them. And they probably said no. But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, nowadays, these independents, like, the majors are watching the independents. They just try to see, okay, if you selling this much, then let me go ahead and amplify you, you know what I mean? Or give you some steroids to your career and see how much I can make off you. And you gotta say no. So shout, you know what I mean? The shout out to the independents staying strong.
Jim Jones was on. Sorry to cut you off, but Jim Jones was on the Breakfast Club, and he actually had the best thought process when it came down to, like, you know, I'm independent, but, you know, I'm looking for a deal because it is gonna shoot it up. All of this, well, maybe I make $100,000 a year, and that's not nothing he said, but then I'm gonna make, you know, $1 million instead. And how could you beat that? How could you turn that type of stuff down? The last time I respected somebody for turning down a deal was actually A.R.Ab and Cash Money. They wanted to sign him. He went down there and stuff like that, and he was saying that basically what they offered him, like he was doing this on his own and then some. So they not offer him the right amount of thing. You feel that you could do it by yourself, or you feel your name is big enough where you could hold steady and, you know, come across something that's going to shoot you into the stratosphere. You know, that is the best look because the money stays in-house. You see everything that's going on with it. You know, every dollar and cent that's accounted for, and you don't have to pay nobody back. So, you know, it is one of those things. We are going to cut this topic short and shit like that. We'll check, you know what I mean? We'll fill everybody up on Netflix as it drops and as the series come to a close. We might come back again and talk about it, talk about the winner, see where they at with it and everything like that. But you know,
Yep.
it's like a just like an introduction to the game for little kids. Really, it's like it's not something that's detail orientated with like what's really going on in the culture right now. This is something that they want to take a artist, basically mold them, dust, knock the little dust off of them, and possibly make a lot of money in the process as long as the song and the image is right. All right, now we here at Listen Stream Cop Drop. We know that we just started our show. You feel me? Like I said, second episode, first official one, but 2019 has been like a crazy year in hip hop, especially in comparison to 2018.
Whew.
Right.
Well, for certain people, but like 2018 was a good. Like I wasn't mad at 2018 because it had some good releases. It was I was still getting familiar with a few artists coming from 2017 into 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, 2018 was just, I was catching up on certain things. Like, I was doing a lot of digging back at people's catalogs. And then not only that, things were starting to heat up. Like, I felt like 2018 was the heat up section for 2019 because there's a lot of artists that dropped in 2018 that dropped some shit right in 2019. And in fact, dropped a couple projects in 2019 that were really, really good. So, like, I like the direction that hip hop is going. Like, it's really breaking out of the little punk phase, the tattoo face, the colorful hair shit. Like it's getting out of that and it's really getting back. It's not necessarily the boom bap era, but it's getting back to the essence of being raw, being artistic, being creative, and being authentic and genuine with it. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm happy. Like I said, I'm happy. So this year has been really fucking dope. Like I got a lot of albums that I actually listen to. You know what I'm saying?
What's some of your top picks for 2019?
For 2019, like you could say, are we talking okay. So you know what I mean? Let's talk like, all right, Little Brother, made a little watch. I really enjoyed that.
Okay.
Really, really enjoyed that because I've been watching him their whole career from beginning to end. So just to get that feel, that vibe, that was so dope. Shout out to Kahuna, he hit me with the Strayman Chronicles. I really fucking enjoyed that album. You know what I'm saying? Being out west, you know what I'm saying? Like just a whole different game in a whole different lane. But to hear somebody did that and come with something different. It was a beautiful album. I really appreciated that. Anakin had the Fly Anakin had the Emergency Raps Volume 4 with Swami.
Mm-hmm.
And that was dope too.
I liked that project
on that album. Too. Yeah, like I really, really enjoyed that album. You know what I'm saying? Really, really enjoyed it a lot. Like Talk Nah, that cut, like, you know what I mean? That had the reprise so dope. Murray's, you know what I'm saying? There's a couple tracks on that. You got Metropolitan by Stefan too. Like, in my opinion, that's my album of the year. Like, that's my album of the year. You feel me? That shit is just so mean. And we'll talk about that when we get to the album of the year. But then you got Bandana by Freddie Gibbs with Mad Liz. Incredible body of work. You got Benny with the Slugs Out Neck. You know what I'm saying? And that was amazing. Black Milk dropped Dive this year. That was dope. Rhapsody dropped Eve. You know what I mean? Like, amazing for women in hip hop. That was a really great album that didn't get the roses it deserved, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? The Return by Sampa the Great. You know what I'm saying? She came with some heat this year. That was dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? Even on the production, like I got a ton of albums. Like I got a ton of albums. Like I can't front. You know what I mean? Ghostface dropped something. Mozzie been working. You know what I mean? Terminology dropped something that was dope this year. Static Select was working with Bun B. Currency was working this year. He dropped some heat. Joel Ortiz dropped some heat this year. You know what I'm saying?
Joel Ortiz dropped two heats this year. Listen, he had the joint Gorilla Groove with Fred the Godson and the Heatmakers. I've really enjoyed that project. And then he had his latest album that he dropped, and it's a cut of everybody that we about to mention on LSCD's playlist for this episode, just highlighting all the tracks and stuff like that. It'll be attached to everything, but that's dropping exclusively on Tidal. But yeah, Joel Ortiz, he put on 2 bodies of work this year. Who else you got? Listen.
Listen, Pete Rock has been working because he made an instrumental album. Like, I be fucking with the beats, you know what I'm saying? Right. So, Pete Rock made an instrumental album, you know what I'm saying? Who else? Boogie. Shout out to Boogie. Like, Boogie came out of nowhere and dropped some heat this year, you know what I'm saying?
I want to stop right there, right? When Boogie dropped at the beginning in the first quarter of this year, because he was like, he came out of nowhere, nobody knew about him. And it was like critically acclaimed piece of work just because it's so different. And like it started off so different. You could tell like this is this guy's real perspective. And he's not just a creative, he's a hard body too. He lived it. He goes through these things and stuff like that, but he is very creative in what he does. Once Everybody for Sale dropped, that was like the eye opener for me to pay attention to music this year on some real shit. And that happened in January when he dropped. I really enjoyed that project, and as the time went past, I've been trying to throw it out there every chance I get, or you know, when people make mentions of stuff or whatever, I'm like, listen, don't forget about this. Don't forget about these projects. Like, don't forget about Everything's for Sale, because that was a dope creative album that caught everybody off guard, and he hit a couple of topics that wasn't typical for the conditions of what's going on in our community. Like, you know, there's mental health issues on this album, in addition to the gang stuff, in addition to all of this other stuff. So it's like, you know, that was because it was so like critically acclaimed, like well received by everybody stopped talking about it. But it let me know, like, you know, 2019 about to be some shit. So shout out to Boogie, most certainly. Like, you feel me? That's one of my albums of the year.
Yeah, and also I just want to sweep it up real quick. You got Black Moon. Black Moon dropped something. I'm just happy to hear some OG 90s sound. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Still sound good. Redman dropped. You know what I mean? Redman was working. And shout out to Sue Surf. You know what I mean? Sue Surf dropped something. You know what I mean? Battle rap community. I'm always going to find a way to represent them. Sue Surf dropped a real good one with 725, and then squeezing Common. Just as something different sound, you know what I mean? And Robert Glasper dropped something too. So, you know what I mean? I've been really happy. You know, my ears go real wide when it comes to hip hop. I'll be into the mainstream, and then I'll be into the underground and the independents. I'll be all over with it.
Yeah, that's why like me and you could vibe so well when it comes down to music, because we do listen to a wide range of things. And I'm trying to get people who like to understand that, okay, I'm not this mainstream nigga. Like, I've been always into all of this other stuff. And they don't really get that fact. But, like, you know, it's albums out here, it's bodies of work that's underground or indie that could be comparable, especially in this year, comparable to any of these mainstream albums that drop. Now, last year, it was kind of like you saw the 50-50 spread of it. You feel me? Like, we had like the Nipseys, who name just really got on the mainstream stage then, even though everybody in the you know, engulfed in culture might know of him and stuff like that. Like, all of these people it was about to bubble, and here is the year that it bubbled. A couple of albums that I'm rocking with this year. Like, you mentioned Ghostface. You mentioned Ghostface made an album and shit like that. Inspector Deck dropped the album on the low called Chamber Number 9 and shit. I've been listening to that real heavy. Currency is Static Selector had dropped Gran Turismo. I've been listening to that. Yeah. It's crazy. I've been listening to a couple of tracks and shit like that. Concept Jackson dropped Newport 100s or 1000s, and that, like, I liked it, the branding element in that. Like, I really did like the branding element that was attached with Concept Jackson. Like, you know, the shit came in a full fucking like Newport CD. It was cassettes. It was cassettes that looked like a pack of cigarettes and stuff like that. I appreciate all that type of, you know, thought process that goes behind all of that stuff like that. Who else I've been rocking with this year? On the low, like, on some real shit, my just album of the year is Crit Was Here, Big Crit. That's
Oh,
that's my album of the year. I'm riding with it from when you put me on the album actually, and
yeah,
from the moment I heard it, I was like, production wise, feature wise, like he's one of the untalked about leaders of the new era of hip hop because everything is there. Like, he's a really, really talented artist and stuff like that. He has bars on top of bars on top of bars. But like
yeah.
this album really was that thing I be looking for. Like, it had its moments and then it had the bounce for me. It was really just well rounded to me. I didn't like fall asleep in the middle of it. I was like, everything sounds the same. Like, nah, this is one good body of work, like a well-rounded body of work in my opinion. So I gotta salute Big Crit on there. I'm holding him down for the whole year. Like that's what it is with it.
Yeah, because I can't front. You know what? That the song, like my song of the year, like the song, all right, like I have, like I make a playlist for I have a playlist called Daily Rotation, and it's just it has grown like maybe from the last 5 years. If I hear a song that is dope that I have to hear every day, like I have to hear every day, it'll make the rotation. And like one of the first two songs that I really fuck with is Every Time Big Crit. I don't care. I don't care. That song is whew, that song. That's every time that a perfect song, like that's a perfect song to me. Like that song is that's an amazing song. So you gotta get that off. Like 2 points for that, like for real, for real.
And
Like
that's just one of those bodies of work that just hit me. The 38 strategies of Raw. It's a couple joints off for there.
yeah,
And I want to let niggas know, like, Eric Sermon dropped a project called Vernia, and
yeah,
I'm not. I know that most people haven't listened to it, but I think that everybody needs to go and check this shit out. To be honest with you, that is a real fire project. Like, and it's totally him. And like, I don't know. This is one of the instances where I think like the artwork of the project, the art direction of the project, is what made people not even understand that this was an Eric Sermon album. You know what I mean? Like, you expect a little bit of grittiness, a little hardness coming from Eric Sermon, and like the picture is like an owl in the field or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it just didn't resonate the right way for me on that note. But the music, everybody needs to just keep that in consideration. Just give it a listen. You don't got nothing else to listen to, go and check it out.
Okay, well, if you talking albums like that, let me just sneak in Dime Piece 2 by Diamond D. Swear to God,
Okay.
on everything. Production is so, oh my god, like pure production, bars, that hip hop, so all right, true.
Just
Put
all
you on that,
around.
all right.
All around projects. El Capo on the low, Jim Jones joint. Now, I was a big Wasted Talent fan. Like, Wasted Talent after Victory App was my after it was 10 to Talk 3. You feel me? Fucking Victory Lap and Wasted Talent. Those are my three projects from last year that I fuck with personally. This is a good like follow up to Wasted Talent for me. Coming from Jim Jones, the shit is knocking hard. Like it's very few of these veterans out here that's putting it down where he's actually displaying like he's really, really nice. If you thought that he wasn't before, you're gonna know he's really, really nice now, and like he's been just focused on himself and everything like that. I really enjoyed El Capo, and it's a couple things like that. I don't want to miss nobody. Oh shit, here we go. My nigga Quelly Chris dropped the project Guns.
Yeah.
Now typically, once I first heard it, cause it like randomly came on while I was listening to the track. He be like In Your City. I don't know the name of it, whatever. It's the second song on the joint or whatever. I fully like got into this guy, got into like what he does, looked up past projects of his and everything like that. You feel me? This is whose husband is this? He's married to Jean Grey.
Yeah, that's his
Yes,
wife.
this is Jean Grey's husband and stuff like that. Give him a listen, like give his project Gun a listen. Like I was taken by surprise by that. It was really, really a good project. Like that's one of my top picks this year. You know what? It's been a lot of fire. It's been a lot of fire that dropped. Oh, on the low, just on like nostalgia purposes for me. Sheen Price, and Small Professor, Large Professor.
Yeah, 86 Witness. Word.
Yes,
That's
86 Witness.
That is on my list too, and I know I didn't even say that, but yeah. Period. Rest in peace, Sean Pitty. Like God, like I don't care. Yeah.
And it's crazy we could hear it's like a project like that and be totally excited for it. And then like somebody like, you know, Gangstar supposedly coming out with an album. They had the track with J. Cole and whatever have you. I didn't really like the single. But you know, it's this thing where like, you know, we could get some of this the foundation, like to hear like new music, not new music, but like new music to us dropping in 2019 from people that was, you know, part of the foundation, knew the rules, didn't break the rules and stuff like that. It's really refreshing. So a lot of these young individuals out here, some of these young cats and stuff like that, you need to go and like visit these type of projects just so that you know, like, you know, you be something solid, you're somebody solid, that shit would transition with you in fucking 10 years down the line after you die. You can put out something real solid because you put the work in this shit. Like, I don't know how else to say it, but I'm normally not a fan of things like that because I feel it's like a cash grab, you know, on an artist, and especially coming from the era that we came from, where, you know, like Biggie passed, Pac passed, and then there's all these mashup records, and Pac dropped 7 albums right after he passed, and
like they did pop music so dirty. Like Pac really had enough music back in the last out till right now that could be new music if it was engineered and produced right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but it's just like they really like low key like. Oh man, they really hold his estate out. Like they hold out the essence of what he was about. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a form of prostitution. Like pimp that shit. Like bootleg for niggas. Like Pac on bootleg. Like, oh, it's ridiculous. The shit was ridiculous back in the early 2000s.
That's a fact.
Like the internet, the fucking internet.
Yeah.
But like big made like they tell us all where they went wrong with Pac. They kind of did when it came to Big, and at least Big got some kind of bread off of it.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. That's true too. Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy to be around this long to see like certain things just happening. Like, you feel me? Like, but it's the same rhetoric. Like, you know, they shouldn't have over, I don't know what's the right word, but what they did to Pac and his passing, they put him on a pedestal and then just try to like do this straight cash grab off of his name, where like, you know, every couple years you might have been more excited or it maybe resonated a little heavier if we got a body of work every now and again from him, not this influx of music everybody just trying to sell off. Because that's the same thing like I feel with people, because Nipsey was out there working, and you know, he had a couple projects coming out with a couple people and stuff like that, and it's like, you know, his untimely passing had caused people to be like, you know, overly using his name for fame or you know, for more recognition, or you know, trying to show their alliances to Nipsey, and like, you know, let it breathe. It haven't even been a full year. Like, you know, we still in the same year that he passed. Let it breathe. Let us, you know, be able to enjoy all his other work and put our focus into making his family the bread that they not gonna no longer be making after him. All the projects that he came out with, let's fully support that. And then, like, you know, a year from now or so, you know, his passing, hey, listen, it's a dedication, or hey, I got this fire body of work and I had a track with Nipsey, here it go. Like, give everything some space. Like, everything is not just just because it just happened, you got to capitalize on it in a moment. Certain things you will always be able to capitalize on it unless you fuck yourself up looking bad in the process of trying to do a cash grab. You know what I mean? Like it's really
Yeah.
crazy what they do to the rappers that have passed on. Like it's really nuts to me. But all right, all of that aside, we have so that's all the things we've been listening to for 2019. The people at Griselda Records, Benny Conway, Westside Gun, they have put out multiple projects every quarter of this year. 38 Species is damn near on that same line where they're just like putting out projects every quarter this year, and they're quality bodies of work. Like, so you can always work as long as the shit is hot. You could drop something, you could stay relevant and do all of that stuff like that. Just like Statue of Limitations dropped. And that's produced by Pete Rock. Smoke DZA is on the track with Benny the Butcher. And
Yeah.
I want to know what's your initial thoughts on that?
I like it. Like, I mean, New York is really trying to get back to being New York. You feel me? Sounding like New York. And I'm one of the biggest advocates of that. Like, get back to that East Coast sound, get back to sounding like your own. Like, everything has been sounding like the South for like the last, 10 years? You know what I mean? 10, 12, almost 15 years if you want to be honest. You know what I mean? They kind of came, like, when Jeezy came, like, and I swear, like, I don't understand why Jeezy don't get more respect than what he is, but when Jeezy came, Jeezy brought the whole South with him, and he took over everything, and, like, everybody started piecing from the South, whether it was Miami or it was Texas or, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, to hear the East Coast get back to the East Coast sound is pretty, you know what I mean, it's pretty damn, refreshing. Because, you know what I mean, like, it sounded like the East Coast, like, everybody was snatching trap drums, taking high BPM beats,
Right.
and really going hard, like, you know what I mean? Just trying to sound something like they like something that they're not. So it was refreshing, and them boys, you know what I mean? The Butcher always stay working. I think Pete Rock is really busy, and a lot of people are starting to go to the OGs while they're still around,
right?
To get that, you know what I mean? To get that polished sound, that polished authentic hip hop sound, and get that tutelage, how to, you know what I mean? Take it, you know what I mean? Get the torch and take it, you know what I mean? Hip hop in the right direction. So I'm loving it, you know what I mean? Smoke DZA, I've always been fucking with Smoke DZA, he's been on plenty of tracks, you know what I mean? Whether it was with Blue, Fly, Anakin, you know what I mean? He had his own work. He's done an entire album with Pete Rock before,
right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just all beautiful music. I'm happy about it, you know what I mean? If Benny getting that recognition on that hip-hop level off D-Talk Street, getting that recognition on the hip-hop level, from like the OGs and up and coming, it's all beautiful, man. It's just, you know what I mean, just makes me happy about what direction the game is going in.
You know what I really liked about this project? For the first time, I heard Benny not spitting over his usual sound a couple of these tracks. And I know everybody like, what do you mean by that? Because it's all like, underground sound and stuff like that. No, the tempo is kind of quicker on a couple of these tracks. Like Smoked and Butchered. The tempo is there. It was really refreshing to see, like, Benny hold his own on these couple of these, like, more upbeat tracks. Now, he had a track, him and everybody Griselda on the Eastern Conference Finals off of Sky Zoo and Pete Rock joint or whatever. You feel me? That's one of the top tracks on there. Everybody held their own against those beats or whatever. But I was really, really happy just to see Benny, like, that back and forth joint was hard. Have we ever really heard that level of, like, fast-paced back and forth with Benny the Butcher and, like, Conway? I know on Tito's Back, you feel me, they kind of going back and forth, but it wasn't this kind of, like, high pace where on the first track on this album, him and Smoke, like, they're finishing these other bars. It kind of reminded me of We Gon' Make It with Jadakiss, and you know what I mean? Like, it was just like back and forth.
Yeah, but that's the essence of hip hop, though. Like, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I respect them. Like, even though their content is, you know what I mean, is the grind, is the filth, is that essence of the hood, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're still implementing key elements of hip hop, of how you're supposed to do it, like how the OGs did it, like how we were raised, you know what I mean? Like that, and then they're making it something new, like they're putting it into something new. So that's just like, that's beautiful. Like that's why I really respect Griselda and how them boys move. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can talk trash about, you know what I mean, saying, oh, all they do is talk, boy, drug dealer, like, you know what I mean, yada yada yada. But you know what I mean? They doing something, like they doing it with the most utmost respect to hip hop. Like, you know
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm
most
saying?
certainly, most
You
certainly,
know what I
because
mean?
they're doing the grind out session, and you know they worked hard. They've been around for a while. They playing by the rules. You know, what sets them apart is the fact that their beat selection and is everything is real polished over there. So as like a real as grimy as they are, and they got this leverage to play around with where they can choose something and not that refined. All the beats are at this high level. You feel me? So that's one of the things I like the East Coast sound where I normally be like, you know what? The East is missing party music. Like we're missing party music. Like Cardi B can't be the only party music out there because we used to have lyricists that really put out, club bangers and stuff like that. And I'm gonna always stick to it that you're not really a real all around artist for me if you
Yeah.
can't put you can't make me bounce in the club without you feel me the DJ just throwing your verse on somebody else's beat. Like you have to
Right.
have these type of things in there, and the East Coast have always been good for a party track. That's why I always be like, when is Griselda Records gonna get me pop that 2019? Like I just want that feel. Like I need that coming from the East. That's real lyricists because they're fully capable of pulling that type of shit off. They just don't. They feel like it's that's outside their thing, or they not really about that, or imagine that, but is not one rapper that they'll sit there and say that they were influenced by that don't have these type of tracks on their roster and like major
Right.
hits. You feel me? We have to really we got to think about it because it's but so far, and I don't care like what they do over there. It's but so far they're gonna go if they can't catch somebody's ear and make them bounce. They will stay in this lane, and I don't want them to stay in the lane. Like even if it's opening up and stuff like that, they're never gonna get played on the radio without one of these type of tracks. And it's sad to say.
Okay, go ahead.
It's sad to say, and that might not be what they're shooting for, but like, yo, why be in the game if you can't attain to be at the highest level of the game? And if it's crossing over, that's what it is.
I know, but it's different though. Like in all respect to them, like to be on, like and to be out there and to put yourself out there in mainstream, it's not like it used to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a different. It's under a different scope because you know what I mean. You got to pay attention to. Okay, if I could either stay in the lane that I'm in and get this certified bona fide money, or take that risk to go mainstream and be exposed to things like cancer culture, you know what I mean, et cetera, et cetera. Like it's tough. Like society play like it's big to be on that big stage is a different type of audience. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I get it. All of the people that they are influenced by definitely had like other things like Big had them, you know what I mean, Ghostface, so on and so forth. Even like when it comes down to like we can name a ton of good ass artists and street artists that had shit that got played on the radio, but nowadays everybody friendly. Like everything has to be friendly and everything has to be nice, and it has to be like, you know what I mean. You have to include everybody, and if you don't include everybody, somebody points that out. That shit can wrap up all your fucking money. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I kind of get it where they got their own lane, and then it's just like, you know what? We're just going to stick to the people that want to pay attention to us. That's cool. We're not going to cater to everybody. You know what I mean? If these people are going to spend this much money for our art and our creativity, and it's guaranteed and certified there, I'll be happy with that. You know what I mean? They're going to build their fans organically and add, you know what I mean, it's not necessarily going to be a crossover necessarily, but they're going to pull from the mainstream crowd. Like, they're going to pull certain people, you know what I mean?
That's a
And they're
fact.
going to get their attention, you know what I mean? Because they went from Shady, which they didn't get that much exposure. Now they're on Rock Nation. That's what that's like. That's a whole different shade of light, and you know what I mean, exposure within itself. So you know, they're going to grow, but sometimes I kind of feel certain people, you know what I mean, because the game ain't the same no more. You know what I mean? It's not even the fact that, you know what I mean, going from independent to a major wanting a piece of everything you get, but just to put yourself out there and at risk for people to feel like, oh, okay, we'll change our minds and turn on you and wrap your whole shit up whatever we feel like it. Nah, not when you getting the money that they getting. Like, they getting all right money. You feel me?
I definitely understand that philosophy behind it, but it brings me to like, hey yo, they dropped a single for Shady last night, Dr. Birds. And when I first spoke to you about it, I said this is boring to me. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm seeing people like, this is true hip hop music, and this true hip hop music started at a party, fam. So where do we where do we get this idea that, you know, it gotta be just this, like, you know, repetitive beats or these hard beats, and that's pure hip hop now, or you know what I mean? It gotta be this. It can't be catchy, and if it's catchy, it's not real hip hop now. Like, nah, like.
It's just a lane. It's just lane, and you can blame fucking Drake for that with the contemporary R&B shit. Like, I mean, the contemporary R&B and contemporary hip hop. Like, it's just lame. But now it's to the point where it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I think Brazilians just, they're to the point they're going to make music, strictly the same type of music that their fans have always been wanting, that they want to hear.
No, I can't
You know
co-sign to any of that, because even we sit here and talk about Black Moon, and they had, you know, chart success and stuff like that off of, you know, just a quicker tempo or upbeat thing. We sat here and we mentioned Lil Brothers Project when, you know what I mean, they had shit knocking on the radio, because it doesn't take you outside of your craft per se. It really don't.
Yeah.
It is, you know what I mean? It just become crazy to me, because they
I
should
know,
be
but see,
represented. If you want to get all of these other things out of the way, you have to conform to what's going on. Like, you know what I mean? In order to, you know, stab a person, you got to get close to them. So if you want to get them out the way, like, you know what I mean, you got to conform a little bit, just so that niggas know, like, the times is changing. You can move the fuck out the way, because we could do this too. And it's not like all our legends and our heavy hitters and stuff like that haven't had this formula. I think by them going to Rock Nation, I hope it turned a little bit, that, you know, there is in there some, and they will be trying to drive for them, you know, like charts and things of this nature. Because, like, it's really bad to me, and I can't even front. Like, I can't even get over the fact, because I'm just not used to that from our top artists. So we have top underground artists that are becoming mainstream. It is never really gonna take over the mainstream, because they're not giving everybody every element of hip hop.
I totally understand that.
It gets crazy. That's why I just always push for it. They could do that shit. I know they don't want to. They could do it though, but it's all good. Like, it's just something I felt adamant about, and I'm gonna always just press for that. What else is going on out there? Listen, I be telling you, like, I'm pressed for the bounce. Gucci Mane dropped his second project of the year. You feel me? I listened to 30 seconds of the first song, and I had to cut it off. Like, I had to cut it off, because this is not like I'm looking for the trap. I'm looking for trap music, and this is trap sound and shit like that. But he just sounded horrible. Like, it wasn't there. Like, it really wasn't. You need to hang that shit up, in my opinion, too.
I have noticed. I have it. Sometimes, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I had to listen to Gucci Mane when I was listening to the South. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
But after that, like, once I left, I was it. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I can't listen to this shit now. I'm sorry. I still, man, he's successful, and shout out to his fans. You know what I mean? And the whole time, but no, I can't listen to Gucci. know what I mean? Like, nah. Like, if anything, like, I'm gonna keep the 100 because I'm just a fan of down south, like, production. Like, there's certain beats that Gucci might have had that I was fucking with that's, like, super back in the day. But other than that, like, and I'm not just not being a Gucci hater. It's just, like, the music is that for me. So, you know.
I get it.
Next.
I get
you
yeah,
know,
that's
next.
right. It was a couple projects that just recently dropped too. Even though this was a release from yesterday, last week releases though they put a couple of bangers out there. El Camino's Where's My Pyrex?
Definitely dope all the way through and through. A lot of replay value. I really fuck with that album. And you know, like came out, and I won't say came out of nowhere, but that's that independent, you know what I mean, underground sound that they do their thing, you know what I mean, for their people, and it works. It was one of those dope ass albums. Like I can't get mad at it because it's like the album Back and Forth. Really fucked with that. The Shuffle Bag Hottie was up on that. You know what I'm saying? Crack on Broadway, that was the dope ass song. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean, Change Spots and Ghetto Symphony, you know what I mean?
Right.
Had a couple features from 38, you know what I mean, and Shay Noah, but I still fuck with it. Like, I really fuck with that album all the way through and through, so.
Yeah, I did too.
Shout
I
out to
enjoyed
them.
that. I enjoyed that album a lot. Dark Low drop American Made. I was really happy to hear. I was really happy to hear something from Dark Low. He got a track on there, the title track or whatever, American Made, the first track where he just like, you know, it's like super conscious. I don't know, it's like, you know,
Different sound.
yeah, it's a different sound coming from him, which I wasn't after I heard it, because it was just like, you know, so community orientated, letting you know what happened to us as a community since we first got to America, what it's all about. I didn't really know what direction it was gonna turn after I heard the first track, but then it got right back into Dark Low. So it's kind of like this thing of like he's saying sorry to everybody for still being this way, but this is the way he is because America made him and shit like that. I really appreciated this body of work. Blow 5 is on there. Ab is on there. You know your man is down for 400 years. They trying to give him. You feel me? That's not even a joke. Like, they're trying to give him a full 400 years. So it was good to hear Blow 5 picking out, you know, finishing up their series work and stuff like that. Yeah, 400 years for going on Vlad. You feel me? Talking too much.
Fuck, yo. I don't even watch, like, it's so serious about how I feel about Vlad. Like, I don't even watch the interviews. I just be like, yo, don't go on Vlad. I just tell niggas don't go on Vlad. Like, talk about anything else on Vlad. Like, go on Vlad and talk about somebody else's album. Like, don't even talk about your album. Like, because there's like, it's just things like they incarnated. Just go and talk about how somebody else did a great artist or makes great music. Like, that's the best interview you can give. Do not talk about anything about yourself on fucking Vlad.
They fucking crazy. Artists are crazy, and artists is just being mismanaged, or they don't have managers. They out there doing shit just themselves. Because if I was an artist or I was managing an artist, I would really have no problem with sending my artist to Vlad. Vlad is a huge platform. He gonna get your name out there. Just because Vlad asked you a question don't mean you have to answer that. And you could tell this motherfucker straight off the rip, like, yo, we're gonna keep it focused on the music. We're gonna keep it focused on the project. But Vlad don't promote music. What you ever? Vlad don't promote music.
At all.
And we getting this thing just because he's interviewing musicians. Like, he's out there really promoting and putting on for the culture and stuff like that. He's really not. He does not promote anybody's music. You don't even hear people talk about their projects at all on his platform. What type of hip hop platform is this? Like, we're not talking about the music. So, you know, you gotta be real skeptical, because if I sent the artist up there, or if I was an artist myself, everything would relate back to music. Yeah, that was a time in my life, so and so and so, but this track right here explains that. Yeah, that was going on then, but my last project, we already talked about that. If you want to know about my dirty work or whatever, go listen to my last project. Everything will always just draw back to the thing. So much so he probably won't even put the fucking interview out. Like, yo, because it's not what he want. He really is a clickbaiter. Like, You feel me? Even his title work, he don't even gotta do that. But let's move it along and stuff. Flea Lord and Ito's Rock America. I'ma tell you, hey yo, this is one of my like top projects for the year.
Really?
I can't get over the sound of this. I can't get over the lyrics. Like yo, and like Ito put out an album with DJ Muggs this year. Um, what was it called? Hell's Roof. And like I
Yeah.
was a fan of that, but the fucking Flea Lord, he put out a project. One of the tracks on there is a banger with 38 speech and graph, low key, and stuff like that. So these little niggas, they been out here working. But it was so polished, the project, that I can't help but to fuck with it. Like it sounded so polished. Sounded like they on, and this is like the real deal. Like I love that type of shit coming from artists because they really sitting around and really taking the art form serious and not just putting anything out there for you. So I really enjoy that. If you ain't really get into it though, just you know what I mean. Give it a second.
You know what I mean, little here, but you know, like more importantly though, like you said, like I like hearing progression, like you know what I'm saying, to be able to hear artists start to sound polished, you know what I'm saying. It's like you get it, like you get it, like you paying attention, like it's sticking, you know what I'm saying. So more importantly, you know what I mean, just anything that progresses that's going to make, you know what I mean, make everybody else play. Because I think other people are definitely hearing this out and going to step up their music and their production as well, you know what I mean, what they put out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have to. So, you know, I'm happy, like, you know what I'm saying? I can't knock it, like, when it comes to that. Like, I cannot knock it at all.
That's a fact. So, you know what I mean? 2019 is shaping up real well. It's still time for projects to drop. I don't think nobody's gonna come in like, you know, as hard as maybe Wale's Wow's That Crazy or Rhapsody's Eve joint or a couple of these things. I would really like to be surprised if that type of thing happened. Where you know, towards the end of the year, somebody we love or reveal, or even some new nigga just step on the scene and put forth like, you know, this amazing body of work. Everybody stands behind this stuff. So, you know what I mean? We got a couple weeks left. We can make that shit happen. But on the low, we've been up here mad long.
Always, not always, because you know how we do. This is how we love music. Like we really get it in. You know what I'm saying? We really get it in. But nah, I don't know. I can't see nobody else thinking nothing at the end of the year, and it's to the point where I've been kind of getting some thinking. I don't know. I don't even know who I'm looking forward to. Like I want to wait till like the end of the year, like December. Like once December hits, I'm gonna go back and collectively listen to everybody's album thoroughly, and then I'll probably see who I want to hear from. Because I already know who's working. I probably put out some more work. But you know what I'm saying, I got a couple people that I wouldn't mind hearing about.
Yeah, it's weird because you know what bothered the whole anticipation game this year? It was one album that fucked that shit up for everybody, and that's Port of Miami 2. Because Port of Miami 2 was such a highly anticipated album and it didn't do what it was supposed to do. You're not really anticipating nobody's work. Like, everybody's not talking about Kendrick Lamar or whatever. You know, they want something from him. That's not going to happen till next year. Because this year was supposed to be the year of Dreamville. This was supposed to be Dreamville's year. Last year was TDE's year. This year was supposed to be Dreamville's year. And they dropped the ball.
Yeah, but Schoolboy Q snuck one in. But my disappointment was definitely...
Crash talk.
Yeah, he snuck one in, so shout out to him. But my disappointment was Port of Miami 2. It was definitely Port of Miami 2. It's another one that I had. I was really going to speak on, but yeah, Port of Miami 2. I can't try.
One letdown like that will fuck the whole game up for niggas. You feel me? Like, you be like, damn, like, my nigga didn't produce what I thought he was and stuff like that. So you just take everything as it comes. You feel me? What?
Yeah, somebody else. Who the fuck else, yo? Like, somebody else. I'm really missing, but we'll come back to that. But yeah, like, yeah, it had some bangers on there though. It did have some bangers on there. The song with Nipsey and Tiana Taylor.
Right, that was hot. What's the other
Yeah,
joint
yeah.
over there?
Shout out to Cardiac, not a production. Shout out to Cardiac because that was a whole beat. It was a whole beat, and he really did the drums on it on the sample, and he bodied it. He bodied it completely. So shout out to that young man. He really did what he was supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Nobody's favorite was the other joint on there. Him and Gunplay.
Word. Gunplay. Shout out to Gunplay. Gunplay that's his whole bar game up. I can't wait. That's one artist I want to hear from in 2020. Like he had the joint with Mozzie,
Yes.
the joint album with Mozzie, and that was dope. So yeah, I need Gunplay to have his own album, like his own album. He definitely get my support. Like I ain't gonna lie. He talked that down south. Like I know about that. I understand that. I feel that. So yeah.
Yeah, he was on it. Yeah, that was a good project that dropped. Just like I told everybody, the playlist that's attached to this episode have everybody's work on there. Everybody who was hot this year to us over here at Listen Street Cop Drop. So get in touch
Yeah.
with us. You feel me? If you feel like there's anything we missed or we missed out on, like you wanna put us up on game, like make sure you do that shit. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
make sure you let us know, like, hey, y'all bugging. You feel me? Like, y'all missed this. Y'all didn't hear about this. But I think, you know what I mean? In Jersey, we really got this well-rounded scope of the year so far. We will come back at the end of the year and really, really go through, like, you know, all the drops, all the cops and the best albums of the year and what we looking forward to stepping into 2020. You feel me? Like, Jersey, it's going to be 2020 soon.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Listen, with the things that I've done and been a part of and the moves that we've been making for this year is definitely value us into a comfortable spot in 2020. So
That's a
just
fact.
pay attention and stay tuned for real, for real.
Well, with that
Because,
said,
yeah, y'all have a good time. This is Jersey, a.k.a. Stretch Armstrong, a.k.a. Jersey the 420 Chef.
and I'm Mad at Money, aka Trap. Make sure you use the hashtag LSCD. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow Jersey at Jersey the 420 Chef. Follow me at L_S_C_D_. You feel me? And you gotta keep up with us because you never know what we gonna drop.
Word, so stay tuned.
We be seeing you around.